One of the things that we've been working around the clock, I have been working day and night, about 4 hours a night sleep the last month to try to get a website up that I think you're going to be proud of, and I'd like to show that to you right now. This is the home page of our new website. This is a members management system, so you'll all have logins and passwords and be able to get into the back end and do all the things we talked about before. But more importantly, it's a marketing site. It's a lead generation site, and that's the way it's been designed to do. So as example, if an asset manager wants to find a broker, they can click here, and we're going to make them register. We're not just putting it out to the general public. We want to know who wants to use our service. Hopefully we've already talked to them, but if not, we want to know who they are. We're going to check them out, and we'll make contact with them, and then we're going to give them access to our database. If you're brokers, we've got a thing to be able to sign up more brokers, another marketing program. Commercial real estate, at this point in time, even though we don't have a lot of foreclosures in California and the West Coast, almost everybody is having trouble collecting their rents. I'm sure you've all got clients that are having trouble collecting their rents. Not only their vacancy factor going up, their tenants are asking for discounts. They're not paying. They're paying every other month. They want special concessions. They want a couple of months off. And so what we see is that what's going to happen before the REOs hit here will be loan modifications. And so we are going to create some loan modification committees and start training some of our brokers and perhaps some attorneys, put some groups together to do loan modifications for distressed owners. Loan modifications probably are not going to be successful in the beginning. They weren't successful with residential in the beginning any more than short sales were a few years ago. But as time goes on, the lenders are going to get more motivated, and they will. But right now, we look at it as an opportunity for you to get involved with a distressed owner, help him do a loan mod, get to know who his lender is, and get in between those two people and start a negotiation. Now, if the loan mod is successful, wonderful, maybe you can earn a little money while you're waiting for the foreclosures to come. If it's not successful, then the next shot at that property would be a short sale. And since you already know the lender and you know the owner, that would be the next thing that you would suggest to them. And you'd be the logical person in line to get the short sale listing. Okay? And again, if the short sale listing was not able to go through because the lenders were being too stubborn and not realistic, then eventually it'll become a foreclosure. But now if you've already been involved in a loan mod and a short sale, who's going to get the foreclosure? Somebody they've never heard of before, or somebody's been working with them for the last 6 months. So we're aggressively going after that, and this is where what I call our marketing machine. And basically, if you click here, we're going to ask, who are you and what's your problem? After they fill out this form, we're going to say, tell us about your property. What's the income? What's the problem? Okay? That lead gets captured into our system, and we'll have a follow-up system that will be automated. And it's not all running yet, but the website's running. And we can do all kinds of things. We can send it to one of our brokers. We can send it to whoever's doing our loan mods. We can just keep following up with them, sending them emails, sending them telephone messages, sending them faxes. But basically, once they're on our system, we can communicate them over and over again as long as they don't opt out. Okay? But this is, for those of you who are computer techies, we actually create a double opt-in client out of them if they register because they've got some kind of distressed property. The next thing that we're getting, and we didn't envision this. When we first started, we were thinking REO MAC, NRBA. But when I started talking to LoopNet and CityFeet and half a dozen other websites, we wanted to advertise to get brokers because that's where the commercial brokers are. And what I was kind of a little bit dismayed about was that what they're telling me in their demographics is that only about 20% of the people on their websites are brokers. So I'm advertising to get brokers, and only 20% of my money is doing what we wanted to do, is build the association. But who's the other 80%? Well, it's asset managers, it's appraisers, it's lenders, but it's also distressed owners and investors. And the bulk of them are people looking to buy property. Okay? So we figured, well, as long as we're going to get them anyway, and since that's the bulk of our business, let's capture them. So if somebody wants to find a broker, find a good deal, and for those of you REO brokers, you already know this. You put bank-owned or REO in an ad or on a sign, the investors, it's like Pavlov. They start salivating. They hear that bell, REO, and they come to you. So because of our website, because of our association, they're going to come to us. In fact, we haven't even, this website has not been launched, and we haven't done any advertising, and I'm getting 2 or 3 calls a week. And I don't, you know, these are guys, people, I got 25 million, I got 100 million, my hedge fund in New York, I got 50 million. Those are the kind of people that are just calling me because they're finding us and they think that I've got great deals for them, which I don't. I tell them we don't, but, you know, we're building the association, we'll be able to get, you know, find you something, or some of our brokers will in the future. So, so this is going to be just an awesome site. It wasn't what we planned, but we're going to capture them, and then they're going to have to tell us what they want, whether it's a multifamily or whether it's a retail or an industrial, and those are going to be, and we're asking them what city and what zip code they want in, and when they fill out that form, that lead will then go to whatever our broker is in that area, that city that has that specialty. Okay, and again, this is not working today. Right now, you register there. We just send them a couple emails, and that's about all we're doing. But we will have all that running in another month or two. So that's the basic part of our lead capture engine there. The second thing, and tonight when we had our committee chairs give you a little presentation, the reason we did that was not necessarily that you guys didn't know what's going on to the market and you were that terribly interested in knowing the market, although you should be. But we did that because we want some video and we want some text to put behind this, because these are our face of our specialist for the industry. And we're branding, you know, our association as the preeminent place for a lender to come to find good qualified commercial brokers. And we're branding our chairman as the #1 person in the country that knows everything about that industry. And if you need to know about retail or office or industrial, these are the people that you should come talk to. And maybe they're not the greatest people in the world or the biggest brokers in the world, but in the face of the community out there, we're going to make them that, and we're going to grow into that. Okay? So what happens is if somebody clicks on one of these to see about Brandon, okay, they're going to see his picture and whatever, and this piece down here is going to be the article basically of what he wrote today. Okay? And that's going to be a little article about what's going on with office in the United States. Okay? In addition to that, there will be a little button here, which will be a video clip, about a minute or 2 minutes, and they'll be able to see Brandon talk about what's going on with offices in the community today. So again, this is actually a news feed. For those of you that, again, are computer literate or techie type guys, this piece right down here is called a news feed. And basically what we've done is we have gone to a CoStar, and we can go to multiple different people, Wall Street or whatever, and they can give us a little bit of code. And we put it on our website, and what happens is anytime they create a news release, it automatically shows up on our website. And this moves every time they come out with a new piece, we get a new article here. So if somebody comes to our website and they come back tomorrow, there'll be some new news articles there, because we're getting them from CoStar and all these people that are writing them. Okay? In fact, we're doing the same thing. We are a news feed for these specialties, and if someone clicks here for an RSS feed, and we ask all of our members to put this on your website, as well as our logo. And so what happens is somebody wants our news feed, basically come down there and say, okay, well, I want, this isn't finished, but they can have one person, or they can just say, I'll take all of them. Anyway, they'll get a little bit of code that they can put on their website, and they'll get our news feed, and it'll look like what we've got on ours.